Well, have you been enjoying yourself after leaving me? There was not a single trace of warmth in Lucas' gloomy eyes. It had been 3 years since she left him. Xandra scoffed coldly. Did he ever care? He never did, and that's why I left in despair back then. She responded, Mr. Perez, please get out of my car. I have other matters to attend to, and I'm too busy to play games with you. Games? Are all our shared memories nothing more than a game to you? Lucas asked. If it's not a game, then what is it? By the way, keep your woman under control. Otherwise, don't blame me for not showing mercy, Xandra warned him. If it weren't for him, Elena wouldn't have been so nasty toward Xandra. However, none of that mattered anymore. All right. I will definitely teach her a lesson. Tell me, have you been happy these past 3 years without me? Lucas asked again. Yes. As you can see, I've been doing great. I have everything I want now, and I don't need you anymore, replied Xandra. Upon hearing her words, Lucas alighted from her car. He felt an intense stabbing pain in his heart when she said she didn't need him anymore. It felt as though a knife had just pierced through his heart, causing it to bleed profusely. But he didn't want the pain to stop because the pain reminded him that there was once a woman who used to love him deeply. Unfortunately, he lost the woman who loved him dearly due to certain stupid reasons. It was entirely his own fault that he was in this state, and he couldn't blame anyone else. Xandra's pretense gave way after Lucas got out of the car. Am I happy? I wouldn't have known what kind of life I'd be living now if Sophie didn't bring me to TS Entertainment. But it's not necessary to bring up all these. I should let the past be in the past. From now on, I would live for nobody but myself. It's time for me to forget my past with Lucas. After returning to the company, Xandra immediately started dealing with those online rumors about Isabel. She was confident she would be able to handle any kind of crisis because that was where she shone. The problem was resolved almost as soon as Xandra made her move. All the negative content about Isabel soon blew over, and Elena's side also clarified that it was all just a misunderstanding. However, Sophie soon found out that the slandering wasn't the only bad thing that happened to Isabel. It hasn't even been that long since Felix left, and his precious little princess is already bullied. Felix would be devastated if he found out about it. Isabel's injury this time around wasn't an accident, either. Elena was the one who caused it to happen, and Sophie had gotten her hands on the evidence. Xandra had dealt with the issue this way because she was unaware that there was more to things than met the eye. But apparently, Isabel had suffered severe maltreatment. Sophie, it's up to you how you want to handle it. I trust your judgment. Xandra was ready to listen to Sophie's instructions. She was the one who signed Isabel up for the variety show in the first place, and her original intention was for Isabel's own good. However, the current outcome was indeed unfavorable. Sophie replied, Elena is truly audacious to bully Isabel. Very well. I'll expose some of her scandals. Xandra, considering your past relationship with Lucas, so you don't need to get involved in this matter. No one can bully the people under my wing, and there's no way I'm letting Elena off the hook just like that. Xandra said with concern, Sophie, Lucas is known for being ruthless, and Elena is his woman. I know. How could he have attained the position he holds today if he wasn't ruthless? Sophie responded. Nonetheless, Sophie had always been unrivaled in terms of ruthlessness. Wearing a bright smile on her face, she then said to Xandra, You must be exhausted. Go back and get some rest. I am truly fond of Xandra, which was why I did everything I could to make her join TS Entertainment. Okay, I'll go back and rest. If there's anything you need, make sure to give me a call, Xandra replied. Sophie returned to the ward to keep Isabel company after Xandra left. Elena Miller gets on my nerves. I'm quitting the show, Isabel complained. The entire production team took Elena's side just because she was a top-tier celebrity. Just quit if you don't feel like being a part of it anymore. You get to make your own decisions, Sophie replied. In response, Isabel bit her lower lip and said after moments of hesitation, Do you think I'm useless, Sophie? I can't even handle such trivial matters. Sophie would never allow herself to be bullied if she were in my shoes. All in all, I'm too weak. You did great. I've told you before that you should stop comparing yourself to others all the time, Sophie comforted her. Okay, Isabel replied. William and the others must be on their way to the hospital by now after finding out about her injury. Does it still hurt? Sophie asked. I'm okay. It doesn't hurt anymore, so don't worry about me. Isabel wasn't a dramatic person. As expected, William rushed over to the hospital immediately after learning about what happened to Isabel. His face clouded over when he saw her foot in a cast. Isabel tried to appease her grandfather by acting adorable. Grandpa, it may look serious, but it's actually not that painful. I swear. William let out a sigh. What's going on with you lately? Why do you always get yourself involved in accidents? Naturally, William's heart ached for his precious granddaughter. Sophie headed to TS Entertainment since William was there to keep Isabel company. She exposed Elena's scandals as soon as she reached the company and waited for the situation to unfold in her office. Mark came over to talk to her while she was playing games on her phone. I thought you were still at the hospital with Isabel. Elena is such an indecent jerk. Isabel must have suffered a lot being on the same production team as her. The good days are over for her. Sophie had seen plenty of nasty celebrities like Elena, but she chose to ignore them since they didn't get in her way. Nevertheless, there was no way she was going to turn a blind eye to it now that Elena had bullied Isabel. What have you done? Mark knew how ruthless Sophie could be and was extremely curious about what she had done. They tarnished Isabel's reputation so severely online. Isabel might have even considered committing suicide if she wasn't resilient enough. Cyberbullying is a serious issue nowadays in the entertainment industry. And Elena was the one who started it all. I just gave her a taste of her own medicine, that's all. Sophie exited the game and logged into her social media platform. As expected, criticizing remarks flooded Elena's social media account. After Isabel's fans saw the video of Elena bullying Isabel, they chimed in to berate Elena. One of them commented, "Why is this woman so disgusting? How could she bully our precious Isabel?" Another wrote, "No wonder Isabel has been looking so miserable lately. It's all because of this disgusting woman. Does she really think of herself as a superstar? She's nothing more than a self-proclaimed diva. What a joke." Someone else chimed in, "I used to be a fan of Elena. She has a pleasant voice, but I never expected her to bully a younger celebrity." One netizen commented, "No way. Elena would never do something like that. Isabel's fans must have slandered her." Another supported, "That's right. Isabel is a phony woman who only knows how to act pure and innocent. Elena is not cunning like her, so obviously, she can't beat Isabel. I'm on Elena's side." Another comment read, "Isabel makes me sick to the stomach. How can she defame her senior and act like a big shot when she's just a nobody? Even the staff on the production team knows what she did. It's too late for her to whitewash her wrongdoings now." After all, Elena had been quite a famous singer who had debuted for many years. She had developed a good public image over the years, so she still had many loyal fans supporting her. Isabel's fans, on the other hand, were determined to defend Isabel too after learning what she had gone through. The verbal war escalated to a point of no return. Xandra came looking for Sophie and said anxiously, "Sophie, this ongoing mudslinging isn't good for Isabel's image. We are currently in talks with a high-end foreign brand company, and they have high expectations for their artist's image." "Sophie, this ongoing mudslinging isn't good for Isabel's image. We are currently in talks with a high-end foreign brand company, and they have high expectations for their artist's image. I know what to do. Don't worry." Sophie posted another video online which showed Elena's assistant causing Isabel to get hurt. The video, which also included the dialogue between Elena and her assistant, was substantial evidence that was enough to silence everyone on Elena's side. Even Elena's die-hard fans were at a loss for words. Someone then commented, "Oh my goodness. How can this be? I can't believe it. She's my idol. I've been her fan for 5 years. I can't believe she'd do something like that. The second netizen commented, Isabel is indeed talented, but Elena has gone overboard by bullying her. As a singer, she should have focused on improving her skills and releasing more songs. The third comment read, I feel sorry for Isabel. What on earth did she have to go through yesterday? Not only was her leg injured, but she was also slandered by Elena's fans. The fourth netizen chimed in, I'm heartbroken. I want to visit Isabel in the hospital and let her know that we will always stand by her side and protect her. No one is allowed to bully her. The trolls on the internet dared not speak up after the video was posted. Elena's face turned pale when she saw the video. What is going on? What's with the production team? How did that video get leaked? Isn't the production team on my side? At that moment, her assistant dared not make a sound. Ms. Miller, what should we do now? The netizens are all attacking us. Maybe you should call Mr. Perez. He's the only one who can help now, said the assistant, trembling. The netizens were all doxing Elena, so if she went out now, she would definitely be attacked by Isabel's fans. Elena's expression was grim as well. At that instant, the assistant's phone rang. It was a call from the advertisers they had just negotiated with. They had requested to cancel the collaboration. All of Elena's endorsement deals and advertisements had been cancelled in less than half an hour. The assistant grew increasingly restless after answering all the calls. It's okay, Ms. Miller. This problem will be solved as long as Mr. Perez is on your side, said the assistant confidently. Mr. Perez has always supported Ms. Miller. He would help her again this time, right? No. Get in touch with TS Entertainment. I need to meet Xandra, said Elena. Lucas has never been on my side. He had warned me many times before, and I didn't listen. I basically shot myself in the foot. All of this must be Xandra's doing. She's indeed as ruthless as ever. Ms. Miller, I don't think you should dash. What? Things wouldn't have turned out like this if it weren't for your incompetence. Hearing that, her assistant didn't dare to say a word and immediately tried to contact TS Entertainment. However, the other party hung up as soon as they realized who the caller was, showing no intention of paying them any heed. Ms. Miller, why don't we go to the hospital and apologize to Isabel? As long as we show our sincerity, things will eventually blow over after some time, the assistant suggested. That's how the entertainment industry is. People would soon forget about the news after some time, no matter how big of a deal it is. Okay. Go and make the necessary arrangements. Elena had been in the entertainment industry long enough to know that the best course of action at that moment was to apologize. Sophie was still in the hospital, accompanying Isabel. The latter knew that Sophie must have intervened after seeing how the situation turned out. Sophie, you're the best. She was slandered severely this time around, and all the netizens sympathized with her. In fact, she even gained many fans. At that moment, Isabel's assistant entered the ward. Ms. Sophie, Elena and her assistant are here to apologize to Isabel. Countless reporters are surrounding the hospital now. Ha! Apologize? Did she come to gross me out on purpose? My leg is in a cast now because of her. Isabel scoffed. The mere mention of Elena and her assistant filled Isabel with displeasure. You don't have to worry about it. I'll handle it. Sophie stood up from the couch, ready to go out. Let them in, Sophie. They came all the way here to apologize, garnering so much attention. If we don't let them in, who knows what those reporters will write about us. As an artist, Isabel knew maintaining her own image was important. That won't be necessary. You rest here, and I'll handle this. Sean should be here soon. I want all the other artists to know that no one can bully the employees of TS, Sophia remarked with determination. So what if she's a diva? I'll ruin her reputation for bullying TS Entertainment's artist. Ms. Sophie, are you sure this is okay? Elena's fans are aggressive. Isabel's assistant was still a bit worried. After all, They couldn't risk endangering their career in the entertainment industry. Sophie patted the assistant's face and said, "What's wrong? Do you not trust me? Don't worry. If I can't even handle this matter, how am I going to explain to Felix when he comes back?" "Why do you need to explain anything to him? We have already broken up," Isabel said, annoyed. "I have to admit that I've been listless lately when Felix isn't around, but that's just because I've gotten too used to his presence. I'm sure things would get better once I got used to his absence." "Fine, whatever you say. I'm going out now." Sophie walked out of the hospital to see many reporters swarming at the entrance of the hospital. Elena and her assistant got out of their car as well. As soon as the two emerged from the vehicle, the reporters began hurling questions at them. "Ms. Miller, why are you targeting Isabel? She's one of the best singers among the new generation of rising stars. Are you afraid she'll surpass you? Ms. Miller, now that you have caused Isabel's injury, do you think an apology is enough?" The reporters pressed on for answers. "Ladies and gentlemen, I'm really sorry, but I would like to apologize to Ms. Lombard first before answering your questions. Please give me some time. After all, Ms. Lombard is injured because of me, so I want to apologize to her sincerely." Sophie stood there silently, an icy smirk playing on her lips. Did she just say that Isabel got hurt because of an oversight? How could she say that? I can't believe she's shameless enough to show up. When the paparazzi spotted Sophie, they quickly gathered around her. "How is Ms. Lombard doing? Is Ms. Lombard severely injured? Will it affect her recent developments here?" Despite the barrage of questions from the paparazzi, Sophie silenced them all instantly with a single glance. "Ms. Miller, Isabel is presently taking some much-needed rest due to her injury. If you have any inquiries, kindly direct them to TS Entertainment's lawyer." Right then, Sean showed up. He pulled out his name card and gave it to Elena. "I'm TS Entertainment's lawyer, Sean Burton." The paparazzi were so taken aback that they promptly forgot to snap any photos. None of them had anticipated Sean to be the lawyer representing TS Entertainment. After all, he was renowned for his impeccable track record in the legal profession. Elena's face paled. She had been with Lucas long enough to hear about Sean's reputation. Given his frequent involvement in high-profile cases, nobody had expected that he would take charge of Isabel's case this time. "I'll leave this to you. I will accompany Isabel as her emotions are currently unstable." Sophie's voice was so loud that the paparazzi could hear her clearly. Elena clenched her fists. She must have said that on purpose. She's the third daughter of the Tanner family, the CEO of TS Entertainment, undeniably beautiful, yet seemingly devoid of compassion. "You were the one who caused harm to Isabel, right? Don't worry. You'll receive the court summons soon," Sean said, his voice sounding melodious. However, an ominous undertone lingered, adding a menacing quality to his words. Elena's assistant, Stella, panicked instantly, for Sean looked really scary. "Mr. Burton, how are you related to TS Entertainment? Why did you accept this case?" Sean was unwilling to answer any questions and left without saying anything. He had never liked talking to the media. Having heard about his reputation, no one dared to provoke him. While Stella might have accumulated considerable experience working for Elena over the years, their opponent this time was Sean, a formidable force to reckon with. "Ms. Miller, what should we do? You have to help me. This was your..." Elena gave her a slap that stopped her short. "What is wrong with you? You've been working for me for so long. I can't believe you did this behind my back. Stella, this is completely unacceptable." Stella stared at Elena incredulously. "Ms. Miller, what are you talking about? Didn't you tell me to do that? Are you putting the blame on me now?" "She's guilty of intentional assault." Elena's anger was palpable. "Stop spouting nonsense. Why on earth would I instruct you to do such a thing? If she continues talking nonsense, I'll make sure she pays the price." The paparazzi promptly understood what was going on. Stella wouldn't have done that without Elena's order, but Elena was pinning the blame on her. Clearly, Stella was going to take the fall for Elena. Isabel's fans had also arrived after they learned about the incident. Filled with rage, they vented their anger by hurling the items they were holding at both Elena and Stella. A chaos descended. Ever since her debut, Elena had always enjoyed popularity and appeared before the public in fashionable attire. This was the first instance she had been subjected to such treatment. Eventually, the security guards of the hospital intervened and prevented the crowd from attacking them, allowing Elena and Stella to make their escape in their car. Inside the secure confines of the car, Elena began trembling with fury. Her reputation had been utterly destroyed. "Stella, you've been working for me for quite some time, so I expect you to understand what needs to be done. If you take the blame for me, I can help your family out," Elena declared coldly. She was determined to extract herself from the incident. Stella dared not look at Elena, for the latter looked really scary now. "Ms. Miller, I've been loyal and dedicated to you for a long time, giving my utmost effort. Please, you must help me. You asked me to do this." How could she pin the blame on me? I'm a celebrity. I can't let this taint my life, Elena replied indifferently. But if I confess to doing that, what will become of me? Who else will dare to hire me in the future? Stella finally realized the consequences of her actions. "I'll give you 5 million, Elena snapped, thinking that should be enough to shut her mouth. "Ms. Miller, that's enough. You know what I'm capable of, don't you? You should know what to tell the reporters later." Lucas should have found out about the matter, but he didn't bother calling me. He doesn't even care about me. He never cares about me. What the crap did I do? Xandra wasn't at all surprised to receive Lucas' phone call. When she arrived at the cafe where they were supposed to meet, Lucas was already waiting for her there. "What would you like to drink?" "The same as usual." Xandra shook her head. "No. My preference has changed now." After all, nothing in this world remains unchanged indefinitely. "You must be here for Elena." Xandra didn't like beating around the bush and preferred to go straight to the topic. "I can't help you. Do you know who Isabel is? She's the daughter of the Lombard family, who owns Lombard Group. You must have heard of Mr. Tristan, right? No one can help Elena this time." "I'm not here for Elena. I'm here for you," came Lucas' reply. "Me?" Xandra leaned back on the couch as a smirk played on her lips. "If you're here for me, I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you. I'm doing just fine now." It was true, as she could now attain everything she desired. Lucas pleaded. "Xandra, come back to me. I need you." Xandra shook her head. "If you're not here to discuss Elena's matter, I'm afraid we have nothing else to talk about," Xandra stated firmly. The coffee had just been served, but without even taking a sip, she promptly rose from her seat and prepared to depart. Lucas quickly went after her and grabbed her hand. "Xandra, do you really have to be like this? I gave up completely when I walked away 3 years ago. Lucas, I don't love you anymore, so you no longer have the power to hurt me." When she was still in love with Lucas, he possessed the ability to inflict pain upon her effortlessly. However, now that her feelings for him had faded into thin air, nothing he did could cause her any harm. After leaving the cafe, Xandra made her way to the hospital. Observing her expression, Sophie exclaimed, "He went to see you." It was clear who she was talking about. "Yeah." "Are you still hung up on him?" "Of course not. Every girl is bound to come across at least one seam in their life." "I'm glad to hear that." As long as Xandra was content with her life, Sophie refrained from getting involved in her relationship with Lucas. "Is Isabel's leg okay?" Xandra sounded concerned. "Don't worry. She's fine. She will be discharged from the hospital in a few days. This is the perfect opportunity for her to take some rest." "Okay. I'll rearrange her schedule now." Isabel had sustained injuries because of her, so Xandra couldn't help but feel a twinge of guilt. When Isabel saw Xandra, she uttered, "Ms. Yandel, I won't be able to work for a while, But don't worry. Once I've recovered, I'll put in my utmost effort, and I won't let you down. Xandra went over to her bed and gave her head a soft pat. I'm sorry, Isabel. It was my fault for not handling my personal matters well. Perhaps I shouldn't have agreed to let Isabel film this show. Isabel broke into a grin. Ms. Yandel, this has nothing to do with you. Don't blame yourself for everything. Xandra nodded. Okay. She remained in the ward for a while before getting up to leave. After she departed, Isabel turned to Sophie and asked, Sophie, is Ms. Yandel okay? She doesn't appear to be in good shape. It concerned her to witness Xandra, who had always been full of energy, looking downcast. She can handle her own matters herself. Nonetheless, Sophie couldn't help but ponder whether Xandra could erase that man from her mind. Considering how deeply she had loved him, it would undoubtedly prove challenging for her to forget him entirely. Shortly after, Mark and the like showed up to pay Isabel a visit. Seeing Isabel's cast, Sonny grabbed a pen and signed his name on it. You'll be able to sell this cast after you get discharged from the hospital, he joked. Great idea. Mark, sign your name as well. Isabel urged enthusiastically. She had yet to collect the autographs of all the members of the Wheelers. Mark willingly added his signature to her cast as well. Isabel's lips curled into a delighted grin as she beheld the signatures adorning her cast. It had been quite a while since she felt this elated. Sonny and Isabel started playing games, while Mark and Sophie found themselves seated together. Have you been busy recently? Mark asked. He hadn't seen Sophie in a while as she was always busy. Not really. If you have time, come and join us so we can have fun playing music together. You still have a passion for music, don't you? Yeah. Felix might be in Fandar, but he still kept an eye on the entertainment industry back in Chinoca. After learning that Isabel was injured, he immediately called Tristan. What is going on? I only left a short while ago, and Isabel ended up getting hurt soon after. Did you not take proper care of her because you were preoccupied with your love life? Otherwise, why would she have gotten injured? Tristan snapped back. If you're so concerned, why don't you come back and take care of her yourself? After all, she's your girlfriend and your responsibility. Felix was rendered speechless. He had left the country after breaking up with Isabel. Despite having broken up with Isabel, he couldn't bear to stand by and witness anyone mistreating her. Who the hell is Elena? How dare she do such a thing to Isabel? Blacklist her immediately. I don't want to see her face anywhere in the entertainment industry. I don't want Isabel to be annoyed by her presence. You're free to take whatever action you deem necessary against her, Mr. Northley. Even though you're not in the country, I believe just one order from you will suffice to get her blacklisted. It was only right to let Isabel's boyfriend handle the matter. As her uncle, he should stay out of it. Felix implored. I'm not in the country, so please take good care of Isabel. He truly couldn't bear the thought of Isabel getting hurt once more. Tristan chuckled. I can't believe you're asking for my help. Understood. That incident was an accident, and I assure you it won't occur again. Felix still sounded worried. She must be in pain. Isabel was afraid of pain, after all. Tristan reminded him, be careful over there. Isabel may be afraid of pain, but she's also worried about your well-being. Wrap up things there and come back here to protect her yourself. After he ended the call, Sophie went to join him on the couch. Was that Felix? She guessed it was Felix, as no one else would be that worried about Isabel. Yes. He wants to blacklist Elena. Go ahead. He's indeed the most suitable person for the task. I won't intervene in this matter, then. Meanwhile, Elena thought she would be okay after pinning the blame on Stella. Although people continued to criticize her online, she held on to the hope that the fervor would fade away within a few months and it would be forgotten by the public. She drove to Lucas' house to pay him a visit. Lucas' face was devoid of expression when he saw her. Mr. Perez, please help me. I don't want to be despised by the public, Elena pleaded. She loved being in the spotlight and didn't want to fall from grace. Lucas was busy watering the plants in the garden, which were planted when Xandra was still around. Even after her departure, he remained diligent in tending to the plants, ensuring their flourishing growth through his careful nurturing. Instead of answering her question, he asked, "Do you know who Isabel Lombard is?" Elena shook her head. She's the youngest daughter of the Lombard family and also the girlfriend of Felix Northley of Northley Group. Elena staggered backward. I didn't know that. If Mr. Perez doesn't side with me, I'm doomed. Elena, I don't like you. I made that very clear right from the beginning, didn't I? Do you honestly think I would jeopardize my relationship with the 4 prestigious families because of you? You can leave now. I don't want to see you ever again, Lucas said coldly. Who do you love then? Xandra Yandel. Lucas knitted his brows when he heard that name. I don't want to hear you mentioning her name ever again. He went back to tending to the plants. Elena's world had crumbled overnight. It unraveled so swiftly that she couldn't even react in time. She had presumed that everything would fall into place after Xandra's departure, but she had gravely miscalculated. Now she found herself left with nothing, stripped of all she had once held. Stella received a 1-year prison sentence for intentional assault, thanks to the efforts of Sean. He ensured that justice was served. On the other hand, Elena faced the consequences of being blacklisted. Everyone knew that Felix was behind this, so no one dared to extend any invitations to Elena for commercial shows. Soon, Isabel's leg had almost recovered. The Lombard residence became a gathering place for everyone on the day of Tristan and Sophie's wedding photoshoot. I won't come along. You young folks can take your own photos without me, William said as Isabel had roused him early in the morning. Join us, Grandpa. Let's take a family photo. It's been a while since we last took one. Look how nice the weather is. Yes, Dad. Come with us. You're free today, right? The wedding photoshoot was scheduled to take place in Jipsdale, which wasn't too far away. The journey was still manageable for everyone involved. Join us, old Mr. Lombard, Sophie chimed in. All right then. I'll join you young folks, William agreed, his mood lifted. The venue of the wedding photoshoot that day was a film and television base in Jipsdale. Ordinary people could never gain entry into that place. The few cars arrived one after another. Since William was also joining them, the order of the photo shoot was rearranged on the spur of the moment. Tristan had the photographer snap their family portrait first so William could go home and rest after that had been settled. Dad, we'll take a family portrait first later. Then, I'll have someone drive you back. Needless to say, Sarah would remain there throughout the day. It's okay. I'm in perfect health. Since I'm here, I'll stay and have fun as well. What's the point of me going home alone? It'd be far better for me to keep them company here. Anyway, that's the arrangement. If you're tired, you can go back first without having to sit here waiting. Sarah then approached with some cosmetics in her hands. William eyed his daughter warily. What are you doing? I'm telling you, I don't want to apply makeup. I'm already up in years. I look dashing enough now, so I don't need any makeup. We're all wearing makeup, Dad. If I make an exception for you, you won't look good in the photo. Look, aren't Lincoln and Tristan cooperating? It's rare for us to take a photo together as a family. Just compromise this once, okay? 1. Seeing as Sarah had said as much, William had no choice but to relent. I'm already up in years. If my friends were to see me applying makeup here, they'd laugh me out of the room. Never have I worn makeup in my entire life. They'd never do that. You're being stylish here. Done with her makeup, Isabel came over to help. You look incredibly handsome today, Grandpa. I'm handsome every single day, okay? Which day am I not handsome? I'm astounded by my good looks on a daily basis. Sophie had already changed into a wedding gown. Right then, the makeup artist was doing her makeup. She had a great complexion in the first place, so it did not have to be overly complicated. Your skin is as smooth as silk, Ms. Tanner. What's your skincare routine? I don't have a skincare routine. Would I spend time keeping up a skincare routine when I'm such a lazy bum? When Sophie's makeup was done, the hairstylist did her hair before draping the veil over her head. The entire makeover took half an hour. By the time she was ready, everyone else was also set to go. After all, makeup artists and stylists alone amounted to 12 people that day. The instant Sophie turned around, she was greeted by the sight of Tristan standing behind her with his eyes fixed on her. A hint of embarrassment swept over her. Are all of you ready? Yeah, all of us are ready. Let's go. We'll take a family portrait first. From now on, she's also a member of the Lombard family. The Lombard family has always been protective of its own. As such, no one can pick on her anymore henceforth. Nobody will be allowed to do so. In the Lombard family's family portrait, William stood in the center in high spirits, with Tristan on his left and Sophie on his right. Sarah and Lincoln stood in the second row in the gaps between those in the front row, while Isabel half squatted in front of William in a challenging pose. By then, the photographer had already set up the camera. Great. Perfect, even. Just act natural. Say cheese on the count of 3. The photographer was well known in Jipsdale. He was very much amicable. 1, 2, 3. Cheese. Mark, Sonny, Arius, Charles, Georgina, Cecilia, and Sean watched from the side. The sight of the happy family had them all going green with envy. Great. Good job. This photo is perfect. It's really superb. All of you are very photogenic. The entire family possesses top-notch looks, so this photo is already stellar without any edits needed. William went over to have a look at the photo. Immediately, a gratified smile bloomed on his face. Come over and take a look, Isabel. Am I not the most handsome of them all? While I'm already advanced in years, I'm still exceedingly photogenic. Hastening over, Isabel studied the family portrait with her grandfather, beaming proudly from ear to ear. Yeah, my grandpa is the most handsome man in this world. That's the veritable truth, and this photo is truly perfect. Even Lincoln walked over for a look. You're still as handsome as when you were young, Dad. I have something else to do today, so I won't be able to stay here with you all. I'll be leaving first. Such was the nature of his work. He was never free for a day of his life, and he had to leave right then. Okay, go ahead. William did not even bother to spare him a single glance. Why don't you leave with me, Dad? I'll drop you off at home first. They'll likely spend the entire day here for the wedding photo shoot. He's already old, so he doesn't need to involve himself here. It's okay. I want to stay here and have fun for a bit. The driver will send me back when I'm tired. William did not want to leave yet. He was happier to be in the company of that group of young people. Just leave first if you're busy, Lincoln. I'll keep an eye on Dad here and leave with him later. All right. I'll entrust him to you then. Dad is already up in years, so don't let him stay out for too long. At that precise moment, Tristan strode over. Come, Dad. Take a photo with us alone. Sure. William readily went with the man. He stood in the center while Sophie and Tristan flanked him on both sides. In that instant, a great sense of melancholy washed over him. I've finally raised my 3 children to adulthood in this lifetime and have done right by my late wife. Do you see this, darling? Our youngest son is getting married. He has grown up to be an incredibly outstanding man, and his soon-to-be wife is likewise a remarkable woman. You have to watch over our family in heaven. Right now, Sarah is the only one left without a life partner among the 3 of them, darling. Intercede for her in heaven so she'll soon find someone who truly loves her and live happily ever after. Truth be told, that daughter of his was currently his greatest worry. In the brief time of snapping a photo, his mind wandered miles away. It was only when the photographer started counting that he jolted out of his thoughts. A blissful smile adorned his face. The bride and groom should stand closer to old Mr. Lombard. Act more intimate. Hold my grandpa's arm, Sophie. Act more intimate. Isabel hollered as she watched from the side. Sophie took William's arm. In actual fact, the latter was not an unapproachable person at all. Once he acknowledged someone, he would be truly affable to them. Having found a satisfactory angle, the photographer promptly captured that moment. Okay, great. This photo is also perfect. I reckon they will undoubtedly be in a dilemma when it's time to choose the photos since every single one is terrific. During the interlude amidst the photo shoot, Georgina brought Sophie a thermos filled with warm water at just the right temperature. Have some water. You'll probably be bone-weary today. That was a common occurrence during a wedding photo shoot. By the end of it, one's face would have already gone stiff from the perpetual smiling. Thank you. Taking the thermos from Georgina, Sophie took a sip of water. It was then time for the next background. The photographer had long since selected the background, and all the couple needed to do was go with the flow. Do you really not want to go abroad for a wedding photo shoot, Sophie? I noticed that a lot of celebrities have theirs overseas. The scenic spots abroad are stunningly beautiful, making the photos appear like shots from blockbusters. No, it's okay. I want to have it in the country. The scenic spots here are nice too. In truth, Sophie was not that interested in the fancy attractions abroad. Mainly, she found traveling back and forth troublesome. You're absolutely right, Ms. Tanner. There are a lot of picturesque scenic spots within the country, and the photos look fancy as well. I don't need things to be fancy. Just give me something more lifelike. Also, there's no need to edit the photos outrageously. It was Sophie's wedding photo shoot, and she wanted the results to be more realistic. Don't worry, Ms. Tanner. Considering your stellar looks, even random shots would resemble those from blockbusters. There's totally no need to edit them. Verily, she's beyond photogenic. If she were to enter the entertainment industry, her countenance would be ideal for the silver screen. Her bone structure is downright perfect. She's particularly suited to film a movie with her looks. Exactly. You're devastatingly beautiful in the first place, so no edits are needed. All 5 members of the Wheelers came over. Let's take a photo together, Sophie. Sunny proposed with a grin. In all the time I've known her, I've always thought that she'd end up with Mark for sure. Unexpectedly, things ultimately came to this. But it's okay as long as she's happy. Sure. All members of the Wheelers had changed into suits. Even so, their formal attires could not conceal the rock and roll aura emanating from them. Since Sophie planned to take a photo with Mark and the others, the makeup artist altered her makeup slightly. It was just a slight revision to her mascara, but it transformed her into a different person altogether. Deep in her bones, she was a person who loved rock and roll. That aside, she had played the drum for a long time. When all 6 of them stood together, a random shot could already be used for the cover of an album. As a fan of the Wheelers, Isabel shrieked in excitement at the sight of them standing together. Oh my God, he's so handsome. He's just too striking. Mark is truly drop-dead gorgeous. She could not help exclaiming. Throughout it all, Tristan watched from the side. How lucky that I'm the person Sophie likes. Otherwise, I'd also be down in the dumps. The photographer was indeed professional. Although they merely stood there casually, he could still find the perfect angle and capture the most spectacular photo. This photo can really be the cover of your next album, Mark. It's been an eternity since I've last seen a photo I'm so satisfied with. It feels incredibly fulfilling today, with random shots giving off the feeling of those from blockbusters. In fact, they're even better in comparison. Mark and the others took a look at the photo before nodding in satisfaction. Indeed, it's perfect. How could there be such a good-looking person in this world? Sunny said with admiration. Sometimes, God is really unfair. A bombshell like Sophie has everything, both beauty and brains. Are you okay, Mark? Honestly, Sunny was somewhat worried about Mark since the latter had liked Sophie for a long time. Now she's getting married, but the groom isn't him. He must be heartbroken. Mark patted Sunny on the shoulder. It's the same with us all. We merely want to see Sophie happy, and that's more than enough. Even if that person isn't me, it doesn't matter. I can accept it. Sophie approached and hugged the members of the Wheelers. We'll always be together. While she was no longer a member of the Wheelers, her heart would be with the band forever. Yeah, Mark said in a somewhat choked voice. The girl I've always loved dearly is going to be someone else's bride soon. Sophie, you must be happy, okay? He said solemnly. Don't worry. I'll definitely be happy. Sophie sounded as resolute as ever. All right, we're going to attend a music awards ceremony, so we can't stay and keep you company here. We'll have a meal together someday. After saying that, he walked away, dragging Sunny along. A trace of sorrow crept into Sophie as she stared at Mark's desolate back. However, matters of the heart could not be forced. Drawing near to her, Tristan wrapped an arm around her shoulder. All right, don't worry. He'll meet the person meant for him one day. He will only forget her when he starts dating someone else. But then, she's indeed an unforgettable person. I know. He's really good to me. If it weren't for him, I don't know what would have become of me. You're also good to him, and he knows that. Meanwhile, Mark and the others had gotten into the minivan. In reality, there was no awards ceremony to attend. He was merely worried that he would lose control of his emotions if he were to continue staying there. For that reason, he wanted to leave earlier. Understanding his motivation in doing so, the other 4 band members did not expose him. You'll certainly meet someone better, Mark. He's an amazing man. Yeah, I'm fine. There's no need to worry about me. I knew this day would come, didn't I? And I've long since braced myself for it. But when it really does, there's still a bitter feeling within me. After all, Sophie is the first girl I fell for. At the same time, the groomsmen and bridesmaids were ready. Tristan went down on bended knee with bouquet of flowers in hand as Sophie stood in front of him. Arius, Charles, and Sean stood behind him while Georgina, Isabel, and Cecilia stood behind Sophie. That made for a magnificent sight. Even when celebrities in the entertainment industry got married, they did not have groomsmen and bridesmaids with such striking looks. Great. Perfect, even. The bride should look at the groom with gentle eyes. The wedding photo shoot that day officially kicked off, and the photographer unleashed his expertise. Despite being unaccustomed to taking photos, Tristan was extraordinarily cooperative since it was his wedding photo shoot. The wedding gown Sophie wore was breathtakingly beautiful. Her veil was 5 meters long, and her 3 bridesmaids were enshrouded underneath it. Yes, that's it. Keep up the great job. Put on more vivid expressions, bridesmaids. Okay, that's perfect. This is it. Camera flashes rang out incessantly. That day, the photographer was not at all worried about wasting film. All that remained was the sound of the shutter clicking. All right, all groomsmen and bridesmaids may leave. I'll snap a photo of the bride and groom alone. The groomsmen and bridesmaids dispersed while the photographer went over. He instructed Tristan. Later, hug the bride around her waist. Then, kiss her lightly. Okay. Don't be embarrassed. The photo will turn out incredible. Some people don't like kissing in public, but such photos are really stellar, especially when they're both so good look. The 2 of them are so naturally good looking that they look stunning just by standing in front of the camera, Georgina exclaimed. Yup, that's true. They are even more gorgeous than those A-list celebrities. What a beautiful couple, Isabel said with a mesmerized expression. I'm absolutely jealous of Sophie's beauty. Cecilia lifted her chin and said proudly, Of course. Don't you know who she is? She's my best friend. Georgina and Isabel looked towards Sophie simultaneously. Sophie is indeed attractive, but what does it have to do with her being Cecilia's best friend? It doesn't matter much, does it? Right then, at the photographer's request, Tristan slowly kissed Sophie's lips. Even though they had kissed countless times, Sophie was still nervous, as there were many people watching them. However, it was exactly her shy expression that brought out the desired effect for the photo. Aureus put her arms around Georgina's waist and said, "Why don't we have our wedding photo shoot today too?" Georgina cocked her brows. "How can we do that without any planning? Aureus, can you at least try to show some effort? He didn't even pursue me properly. And now, he's treating our wedding photo shoot so casually? I am showing effort. It's just that I suddenly feel the urge to marry you. I have to make sure you stay by my side for the rest of my life. I will never ever let you go." Really? Isn't he against marriage? Why does he suddenly want to get married so badly? Aureus pulled Georgina to one side and planted a kiss on her lips. "Of course. I mean it. Georgina, in the past, I didn't know how to love someone. But don't worry. From now on, I will love and protect you wholeheartedly." Although he still had a lot to learn when it came to love, he was determined to be a good partner to Georgina and not let anything ruin their happiness. Isabel could not help but feel envious after noticing the sweet interaction between the couple. "What's the matter? Are you regretting it now? Do you remember how much you bullied Felix when he was still around? You're missing him now, aren't you?" Charles let out an emotional sigh, thinking that Isabel did not deserve Felix's affection. Felix had loved Isabel unreservedly, but she still ended up hurting him so much. Isabel felt a jolt in her heart upon hearing that. "Why? Am I wrong? Isabel, you should really be content. Do you think you will meet a man like Felix again? Felix is really, really good. Are you done?" Isabel was exasperated. Everyone had been blaming her for what happened between the two of them. However, it takes two hands to clap. When a relationship does not work out, it is usually the fault of both parties. "Charles, that's enough. If Felix knows that you're bullying his woman, he'll come back and give you a good beating." Sean suddenly spoke. No matter what, an outsider should not interfere with the couple's affairs. "All right, okay, I'll shut up. Why is being in love so tormenting for us? If love hurts so much, I'm going to avoid it like a plague. It's not too bad to just date around. We can just part ways if things do not work out and look forward to the next one." Cecilia glanced at Sean, who had a nonchalant expression. She found the man extremely attractive. It wasn't that he was very handsome, but the aura he exuded was very attractive. "Sean, how does it feel to see your good friend getting married? Are you really going to stay single for the rest of your life?" Cecilia found herself magnetically drawn to the man. She would definitely be interested in dating him if he was willing to try. "I don't feel anything. Happiness is a privilege that not everyone can have. At least I know that it's not for me." He had said goodbye to his happily ever after on the day that girl left the country. Cecilia deliberately moved closer toward Sean. "Do you really not want to try it with me? If you want to avoid feelings, perhaps we could just have some fun." She fixed her gaze on him and blinked a few times. Sean took a step back. "Sorry, I'm not interested in playing games with you. It seems that Sophie is done. You should go over and see if she needs any help." Cecilia waved her hand dismissively and said, "I'm not sure if you're being faithful or just plain stubborn. Some people will never return even if you wait for them forever. What's gone is gone. That won't change even if he continues holding space for her in his heart." Sean's eyes dimmed. He knew that his wait would be futile, but in spite of that, he did not want to give up. He wanted to continue waiting for her, holding on to the hope that she would be back one day. "What happened? Did you get rejected again?" Sophie could easily guess what happened from the disappointed look on her friend's face. "Haven't I already told you? It's impossible for you to get Sean to be interested in you. That man is just too devoted. He will never get over his first crush. Sophie, am I really that unattractive? Or is my figure not good enough? How is it possible that a man wouldn't succumb to my charm?" Cecilia could not accept that. Don't tell me you've really fallen for Sean. Cecilia, don't do anything foolish. He will never reciprocate your feelings. Cecilia was a wonderful woman, but it wouldn't matter if Sean was not interested in her. After the main wedding photo shoot was completed, Sophie had to change into a traditional gown for the next set of pictures. Cecilia accompanied her to the dressing room and Wolf whistled when she saw her perfect curvy figure. Seriously, Sophie, I'm so glad that you didn't choose to join the entertainment industry. Otherwise, with your face and figure, no one would even take a second look at me. Cecilia had always been confident in her looks. However, she could not help but feel insecure in front of Sophie. Your success in the entertainment industry depends on your acting skills and not your looks, Sophie affirmed. That won't do. Not only do I want to be recognized for my acting skills, but I also need to make sure look good. As a woman, Cecilia naturally hoped that people would compliment her for her looks. Honestly, I think Tristan will have a hard time controlling himself if he sees you looking like that. Intimate poses can't be avoided for wedding photos. What if Tristan gets a biological reaction? It will be so awkward. What are you talking about? Tristan has exceptional self-control. Is that so? Okay then. I'll go out first. Cecilia tactfully excused herself when she saw Tristan walk in as she did not want to be a third wheel. She was very sure that any man who saw Sophie in her tight-fitting traditional gown would be turned on. Tristan walked over to Sophie once Cecilia left. Dressed in a military suit, the man was just like a walking pheromone dispenser, exuding a strong masculine aura. Are you ready? Sophie got up and stood in front of him, looking sophisticated and elegant with her vintage-style makeup. Tristan gulped uncontrollably when he noticed his woman's perfect curves. She is absolutely gorgeous. It was the right call to insist on taking a picture of her in this clothing style. Why are you staring at me? Do I look weird in this? It was the first time Sophie had worn that sort of makeup. She was worried it didn't suit her. Sure, it's a wedding photo, but I don't want to overdo it either. He approached her and hugged her slender waist. Nope. You look amazing in this. I think you wear this gown the best among all the women I know. I've met many beautiful women, but none of them are comparable to the one in my arms. You look incredible in that military outfit, too. It makes me swoon over you, said Sophie truthfully. I bet you would have been a prominent warlord in a previous era. Someone like Tristan is bound to be a winner regardless of the period he's born into. I'm glad you like it. Tristan pecked her on the neck. What should I do? I want to marry you right now instead of waiting any longer. My darling's too charming. I don't want to wait anymore. All right, let's go. Otherwise, they'll make fun of us again. Old Mr. Lombard is still waiting outside, after all. If we stay here for too long, it's going to get people thinking. Let's go. Once we return, I'll customize a few gowns for you. I like to see you in them. I love seeing her in a figure-hugging gown. She looks lovely in them. It really makes me want to protect her. When Sophie walked out, Charles, Sean, and Arius were stunned by her appearance. For real, I think Mr. Tristan has incredible self-control. I can't believe he's able to hold himself back from savoring such a beauty, commented Charles. Quit staring. Otherwise, Mr. Tristan is going to get angry, Sean reminded, reckoning that Tristan disliked other men gazing at his woman. Indeed, Tristan was upset. Sophie looks alluring in this gown, but I don't like how the others are gawking at her. She belongs to only one person, me. No one else is allowed to look at her, not even a glance. Will the bride and groom please come over here? The photographer was excited when he saw the couple. Regardless of what they wear, they'll always look fantastic. I can't believe they're more attractive than professional models. The photo shoot proceeded without a hitch. As Tristan and Sophie were somewhat familiar with the process, the photographer only needed to provide them with a few instructions for the picture to turn out well. The photographer was so addicted to taking pictures of the couple that his finger went numb. After some consideration, the photographer asked, Can I keep a wedding photo of yours and use it for advertising, Mr. Tristan? I also want to submit it to a photography competition. It has always been my dream to participate in a competition like that with an exceptionally blissful wedding photo. Unfortunately, no wedding pictures I took in the past, even with models, satisfied me. Now that I've finally found one, I can't let this opportunity slip away. Tristan shook his head. No. We don't need that. The wedding photos are meant for me, not to show off. Are you really not going to consider it? How about I submit it to a photography competition instead of using it for advertising? I already have a few pictures in mind. They're genuinely excellent. No, Tristan only wanted his wedding photos to be a personal collection. If not because we wanted to capture moments of our happiness, we wouldn't have bothered to come here and take wedding photos. Okay then. The photographer was visibly dejected. What a shame. I rarely take any photos that really satisfy me. I bet I could win awards if I was allowed to submit these pictures to a competition. The photo shoot lasted until noon. Exhausted, Sophie took off her gown before heading to a nearby restaurant for lunch with the group. Sarah and William returned home first. William was an old man, after all, who needed his nap. The rest dined at the restaurant. Are you tired? Tristan approached Sophie while she was talking with Isabel and the others and massaged her shoulders. I'm tired too. Uncle Tristan. How about you give me a massage as well? Joked Isabel. Same. Unfortunately, I'm single. I have no one to take care of me when I'm worn out, Cecilia lamented. Georgina merely chuckled. When Arius heard the women's conversation, he immediately massaged Georgina's shoulders. I won't let you be jealous of others, Georgina. If Mr. Tristan can do it, I can do it too. Georgina smiled sweetly. While I have experienced many moments of sorrow in the past, I'm happy and satisfied that we can stay together. Isabel and Cecilia exchanged a glance. Woe be us, the single women. If only there are people who love us. Isabel sighed. There truly is no love left in this world. Someone does love you, but you don't want him. I think I'm worse. No one loves me, Cecilia bemoaned. This won't do. Once I return, I will find myself a boyfriend. I can't remain single any longer. There was still a photo shoot in the afternoon, but everyone was drained, so Tristan brought them to a nearby hotel to rest for an hour. After lunch, the group went to the hotel. The staff members also had their own rooms to rest in. Sophie was still covered in makeup, but she was too lazy to remove it as there was another photo shoot later. She was replying to Victor's text messages when Tristan came in. Didn't I ask you to rest in the room? I know the photo shoot is tiring for you. If you have any work matters, save it for after we return home. Otherwise, I'll handle it if it's an emergency. It's nothing serious. It's just that Victor has encountered a minor problem. What is Victor doing? He knows about your photo shoot today, yet he's annoying you with insignificant affairs. If it's related to Tanner Group, then it's not insignificant. The company's the fruit of Grandpa's labor. All right, I understand. Tanner Group matters aren't insignificant. Have you taken care of it? If you have, you should get some rest. We still have more pictures to take later. But if you're too tired, we can save the photo shoot for tomorrow. It depends on her condition. I'm good. I'll be fine after taking a nap. Sophie had a habit of taking naps. If she didn't have one, she would feel awful. Promptly, Tristan grabbed her phone. I'll be keeping your phone until we leave. If there are any issues, 3 handle them. You take a good rest. Instead of opposing him, Sophie lay on the bed. You should take a nap too. I know he's been busy since morning. Tristan settled on the bed and embraced her. All right. We'll sleep together. Tristan woke up an hour later. When he saw that Sophie was still asleep, he didn't wake her up. It must have been exhausting for her to wear such a heavy wedding dress. Besides, she's not a professional model. Right then, Someone knocked on the door. Who is it? What if they wake Sophie up? With a frown, Tristan went to open the door. Sean was standing outside. None of them dared to come over, so here I am. Are we still shooting in the afternoon? What were you doing inside? Sophie is still sleeping. There's no hurry. We can continue a little later. And don't knock on the door next time, at worst. We'll spend 2 extra days with the shoot. Sean was dumbfounded. How do I call him if I don't knock? I'm only available today. If you want to continue the shoot another day, then don't call me. I'm really busy. Does he think everyone's as free as he is? We've been buddies for years, Sean. Can you really not do this for 2 days? In case you forgot, I'm a lawyer. Don't you know how busy I am? The cases I've been working on recently are pretty challenging. You disappoint me, Sean. How did I meet a friend like you? Charles didn't say anything when I asked him to accompany me. It's because he doesn't have the guts to. Doesn't he know Charles is afraid of him? Fine. Just wait in your room first. We'll be right out. That should do it, right? I know how hectic his schedule is. It's difficult for him to take a day off. But I must say, Sean, there's really no need for you to push yourself this hard. He works all day to numb himself. I know what I'm doing. Sean knew that Tristan was merely concerned about him. Still, working was the only thing that could distract him from the pain. Now, I feel nothing. When Tristan turned around, he saw that Sophie was already awake. Why don't you get more sleep? If you don't want to take any more pictures today, we can resume tomorrow. I really don't want her to be tired. I'm good. Let's go. Let's finish this today, so we don't have to do it tomorrow. I don't think we need more than a day since we only need some photographs to keep as a memento. The moment the couple left the room, the makeup artist promptly approached Sophie to touch up her makeup. The hour-long rest had greatly rejuvenated everyone, which increased their efficiency. It wasn't until 5:30 that the photo shoot was finally over. Everyone gathered in front of the computer to review the photos, all of which were magnificent. Your pictures don't need to be touched up at all, Sophie, exclaimed Cecilia with jealousy. This is so unfair. Even though I've applied so many facial masks, my skin is still incomparable to yours. Why is there such a significant difference between people? Isabel touched her face. Have I put on weight lately, Cecilia? Why do I feel that I appear plump when standing in front of Sophie? This is outrageous. I'm a celebrity, yet I don't look as good as Sophie. This is such a huge blow. Cecilia scrutinized Isabel. You do seem a tad chubbier, but it's nothing to worry about. She looks more adorable like this. Isabel felt as though she had been stabbed right through the heart. Georgina turned to Arius, who immediately asserted, You still look the best when standing beside Sophie. I would like to live, please. After the group returned, Tristan treated everyone, including the photographer and makeup artist, to a meal. The photographer thought his job for the day was easy because his clients were excellent in front of the camera. Everyone had a great time during the meal. As the photographer and the makeup artist had to return to the company after dinner, they thanked Tristan for treating them and left. The rest remained in the restaurant. Cecilia poured herself a glass of wine. Even though I don't want to part with you, I'm genuinely happy for you, Sophie. I still remember how much she suffered in Horrington after traveling there alone. Raising her glass, Sophie smiled. Thanks. I am doing pretty well right now. A sense of belonging isn't something one can obtain simply by putting in hard work. I'm glad to hear that. You better treat Sophie nicely, Mr. Tristan. Otherwise, I won't forgive you. Even if I can't defeat you, I can still annoy the heck out of you. Are you okay, Cecilia? Isabel looked at Cecilia worriedly. What is wrong with her today? I'm fine. I'm very fine. I feel so fine when I see that Sophie's happy, answered Cecilia with a wide grin. Stop drinking, Cecilia. You're drunk. She's currently one of the most popular actresses in the industry. It'll be bad if anyone takes a photo of her right now. Cecilia waved her hand. I'm just happy today. I'm not drunk. It's about time we return. I'll send you home, offered Sophie. I know she's acting like this because of Sean, but he has never given her any hope. She's only making herself upset like this. No thanks. I can return by myself. You should go on a date with Mr. Tristan. Cecilia stood up, but she lost her balance and fell into Sean's embrace, and sat on his lap. She wrapped one of her arms around his neck and poked his chest with her finger. You're no fun. I can't even titillate you. You. Everyone's jaws dropped to the ground in shock when they saw how Cecilia was treating Sean. Sean wasn't a man to be trifled with, after all. I'm sorry, Sean. She's drunk, Sophie said. However, Sean remained still as Cecilia continued to lay in his arms. Resignedly, he proposed. All of you should head home. I'll send her back. She is Sophie's friend. I should take care of her. He stood up with Cecilia in his arms. Worried that paparazzi might photograph her, he covered her face with his coat. Cecilia clumsily tried to grab the coat. Don't move, or I'll drop you on the ground, warned Sean. I know she's interested in me, but I still can't forget about that girl. Cecilia stopped struggling. Isabel looked at Sean's back incredulously. Why do I feel that Cecilia may stand a chance? I don't recall Sean treating anyone else like this. But falling in love with Sean can be really tiring, said Sophie. However, Cecilia has already fallen for him. Considering how prideful she is, I can't imagine her having a good time falling in love with a man like Sean. Tristan held her shoulders. Don't worry. Sean knows what he's doing. Cecilia is Sophie's friend, so there's no way Sean will do anything bad to her. Arias and Georgina rose from their seats. It's getting late. I'll send Georgina home first. Thanks to a certain someone, she's been busy every day. He shot Sophie a look. Georgina pinched his waist. What are you saying? I'm happy to be able to carry out my current responsibilities. It wasn't until I started working in the medical association that I discovered my worth. I like how good it feels. Did you hear that? Georgina is doing this willingly. Besides, Dr. Smith said Georgina is suited to helm the medical association. Sophie smirked. You're just bullying us, Sophie. I feel so unlucky that we met you. Tristan glowered at Arias. He should watch his mouth. Anyway, we'll be heading back now. Bye. Georgina was frightened by Tristan's glare. I don't think Arias is a match for him. We should leave immediately. Sophie grabbed Tristan's arm. What are you doing? That's just how Arias is. He's only complaining a little. He doesn't mean anything bad by that. It's not like you don't know how well he treats me. I know, but I still don't want to hear him talk about you like that. That's how protective I am. Georgina agreed to take on the position. It doesn't have anything to do with Sophie. Send me home, Charles. I feel like I'm being tortured again, Isabel said. I can't believe they didn't hold back on making us singles suffer. Don't we have it rough enough already? Sure. Since we're both single, I'll send you home. Charles nodded. Your words aren't hurtful, but it's very humiliating, she spat. It's the truth. The two of us are single, which doesn't feel good. I'm used to it anyway. Besides, what's so bad about being single? No one cares if I get drunk, and I can spend time with as many beautiful ladies as I want. If I have a girlfriend, I won't be able to live as freely and wildly as I want. All right, that's enough. I don't want to hear your nonsense anymore. Isabel exited the building with Charles. Honestly, I still haven't moved on from the days when Felix is by my side. The two of them are getting more insolent by the day. They didn't even bid us goodbye, Tristan grumbled. Let's go. We should head back and get some rest. Just as Tristan and Sophie left, Caleb was sent flying out of a private room. You too. Caleb had just returned from overseas. He had thought he'd have a good time in Chon-Aea as he came back from the research institute in Englander. To his surprise, his assumption was incorrect. In fact, he was forced into quite a wretched state. When he landed next to Sophie, the latter instantly recognized him. "What's going on?" Sophie's eyes turned cold. "While I'm not close to Caleb, he never bullied me before and once wanted to stand by my side. For that, I won't allow anyone to bully him." Caleb struggled to crawl up from the ground as a few rich playboys exited the private room. Caleb didn't do anything. Those people were intentionally bullying Caleb because they wanted to vent their frustration. Their families had been crushed by Tanner Group, and despite their resentment, they couldn't do anything to Sophie. Therefore, when they spotted Caleb, they deliberately gave him a hard time. However, none of them expected to encounter Sophie. Caleb stood up and protected Sophie behind him. "What do you want?" "I'm telling you." Even though Caleb couldn't maintain his balance, he still tried to protect Sophie because she was his sister. The rich playboys obviously recognized Sophie and were afraid she would settle the scores with them. They immediately said, "Don't you have a terrible relationship with the Tanner family, Sophie? We're helping you take revenge here." Sophie sneered, "I don't need you jokers to interfere with my relationship with the Tanner family." As she stood behind Caleb, she recalled how her grandfather used to love Caleb and think he was the pride of the Tanner family. Grandpa was genuinely ecstatic that Caleb was able to join the research institute in Englander. "You let me handle this." Tristan, who had been staying silent beside Sophie, growled. "It's just a few rich playboys. Besides, she's tired. I don't want her to overexert herself. We're civilized people." Sophie smiled, but that smile frightened the playboys. "I'm telling you, Sophie, this is a civilized society." Before one of the playboys could finish his sentence, her terrifying glare stopped him. "Who did this?" The rich playboys couldn't help swallowing a lump in their throats. "We heard Ms. Sophie was incredible, but we thought she was just a woman. Hence, we assumed she wasn't as marvelous as her reputation suggested." However, that look in her eyes. Their legs were turning to jelly. "I know this is a civilized society. It's better that you take care of them, Mr. Tristan. I can't be bothered to deal with them. Just break their limbs and keep them alive," Sophie added. "Mr. Tristan?" The group of playboys became even more horrified upon hearing that. "If he really is Mr. Tristan, then there's no way we can retaliate." "It'd be my pleasure." Tristan cracked his knuckles. Caleb was a little worried to see the couple behave like that. "I'm fine, Sophie. Forget about it." Sophie shook her head. "No, you're not. Your hands are made for research. Remember, that's the expectation Grandpa has for you. I can't allow him to stray from his path now that Grandpa's gone. If he learns about this, he'll be so disappointed." Caleb chuckled self-deprecatingly. "I thought I'd be able to thrive once I returned to the country. Yet, reality has given me a good wake-up slap." Tristan swiftly and ruthlessly dealt with the playboys as they screamed in pain. No passers-by spoke a word when they realized they were looking at the famous Mr. Tristan of Jipsdale. The playboys were rolling around on the ground with pale faces. "Feel free to sue me for breaking the law. I'm Tristan Lombard from Lombard Group." Tristan didn't want to bully those people at first. However, since they had overestimated themselves and thought they could harass Caleb, he thought he should give them a taste of their own medicine. Sophie insisted on sending Caleb to the hospital, so Caleb could not refuse. Upon arriving at the hospital, he was examined by a doctor, who promptly treated his wound.
Thank you for listening. If you have enjoyed this story, please like and share so others can see it too. Also hit the subscription button and notification bell so you can be notified on our next release. Thank you for your support. God bless you.